when you're engineering, right? We talk about that relationship between the artist, right,
Hmm.
and the engineer. How is it though working with a producer? Like when there's a chemistry of
That's the best. You learn the most. Like I don't know about every other engineer or any other audio professional, but I learned the most from producers. Like that's when I learned like the things that I care about as an engineer too. Sonically, what matters, what's hitting, what's not. Their language is like the language that help us. You know
mm-hmm.
what I mean? Um, because we have to learn both languages. Like we have to learn all types of different languages as an engineer. Like I gotta know the language of a vocal producer. You know what I'm saying? And then I gotta know the language of like how artists speak about music. I gotta learn how producers speak about music. You know, and then there's ways that us as engineers we speak about music and speak about certain terms. But like the stuff that you get from producers is like gold. It's like the secrets. It's like all the secret sauce.
Mm.
It's like what all the things that matter the most. The things that's the reason why they're producers. They're the ones who have the responsibility of turning in this record. Their name is the one. Their name is on this record. You know what I mean? So it's like they're in charge of quality control and making certain things sound good. So they know how to do that. So they teaching you when you work with them, you learning about all types of different parts of the process that you might not even know before. You know?
So a lot of people may not know that you do work. Engineers do work hand in hand with producers.
No, that's traditionally what the whole thing was. Traditionally, the whole engineers knew the equipment on the technology level, and producers knew about equipment in a way, but they couldn't man the equipment and do their job effectively. So they had somebody hired to man the equipment and do the things that the producers said. And to us as engineers, if you all know the hierarchy of or who's on a total pole or who has authority in the room, producers have the authority of the room above everybody else who's in the room, no matter who's in the room. You know, there may be even sometimes above label folks or whoever. Like a producer will tap you and be like, "Nah, I need you to do this," and you're gonna listen to the producer over everybody. At the end of the day, that's the difference between a beat maker and a producer. Is just the
Right.
responsibility that you have. You are responsible for this record. If this record don't go well, you the one that we hired to make this record go well. You know, and producers were always like hired by the person who was trying to create the record, whether it be a label or whoever was in charge of selling the record or whatever. So their job was to make it right. And engineers and producers always had to work closely because we just knew how to use the technology to make a producer's vision or idea come to fruition and help them with that process because, you know, and producers get help from everybody.
Indeed.
You know, and traditionally, like they're the ones who's hiring the string quartet when they come in, or who's the guitarist, who's the they knew
Yes.
the best guitarist, they knew the best bassist. After you work on a project with a producer, you know the best bassist in town, you know the best guitarist in town, you know the best, you know everything about the album. You already got the album. You know who the best background singers who they are. You know how to stack things to make them sound like certain records that you may love that came out before. They have all the stories.
Indeed.
They got all the sauce. They got everything. Like producers. Like, they're like this.